What's up everyone, thanks for watching. Welcome back to FullThrottleRC. Today I'm ready to get some more work done on the Axial SCX24 Suburban project. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, go check it out to get caught up to where we are here. You'll notice I have a few 3D printed parts here, and I made some cuts to the body. I printed up these Fender Flares as well as the running boards for both sides, but before I can mount them, I need to trim the body. I actually have one side completed already. I did a little bit off camera to kind of figure out how I was going to do this. You can see the resin body is pretty thick and would take a while to get through with a hobby knife. It was super easy for me to just use a rotary tool instead and cut everything at once. I cut each fender well to fit the new Fender Flares, as well as a little off the bottom section on the front to accommodate the GMC style bumper that I printed. I did a little sanding to rough up the surfaces where the glue will be applied. I'm using CA glue for this since I'm joining the PLA prints to a resin body. I still haven't invested in any small clamps, so I'm using a few small pieces of tape to hold the part in place while I glue it. Once it's in place, I apply a little glue and then spray on some CA accelerator. This is my first time using this stuff and I really like it. It sets the glue quickly, so I don't have to worry about the piece moving when I let it go. Then, after making sure I'm happy with the placement, I can run a bead of glue along the entire edge. The fronts are a little trickier. I didn't notice the body tapered in a little in the front, so if I make the Fender Flares even, it leaves a gap. I found some styrene C-channel that I already had to fill the gap. Once I had the flare where I liked it, I put a little glue only on the end that touched the body to hold it in place. Then I could form the styrene by hand so it would fit better in the wheel arch. This time, I put the glue on the body and sprayed the styrene with the accelerator. That way, when the two pieces meet, they bond together. I finished gluing the rest of the styrene in and then trimmed off the excess. I also added some glue to the outside to fill in the gap a little. While that sets, let's check out the interior. Since the last video, I made this back seat using the front seat from the kit as a guide. It still needs a little sanding before it can be painted, but it's a good start. I extended the interior tub in the last video, but didn't think about how it would sit on the chassis. To get it at the height I wanted, I had to cut out a section in the rear to drop it down a little. This is mainly functional, but it could also be seen as an inner fender, so it shouldn't take away from the scale look. For it to actually look like an inner fender, I need to glue in some panels to cover up the giant hole. I got the pieces cut out and in place so I could start gluing. I'm back to the styrene cement here, since I'm bonding styrene to styrene. I'll be able to fill the small gaps with putty. But I'm not too worried about it since I plan on covering the floorboards with fabric to represent carpet. Now while that dries, I can move back to the body. The last piece to glue to the body is the running board. My measurements were a little off, so I had to trim the sides a little, but they fit perfectly after that. There was a small gap between the running board and the body around the middle of the running board, so I pulled them together and added some glue to hold them together. That basically wraps up the modifications to the body. I have a bunch of filling and sanding to do to get it all smooth and ready for paint. The interior is just about ready for paint as well. I need to find the fabric I'm going to use for the floorboards so I can try to match the color to the rest of the interior. I'm really happy with how the interior is coming along so far. After doing a little bit of the sanding, I started playing around with the front bumper mount. Since I was a genius and cut the frame when I was trying to mount that McLaren body, I had to design and print a new front bumper bracket and drill new holes in the chassis. It's still attached with the same screws as the original. I glued some styrene rod on the back side of the bumper that slides into the bracket and is held in place with 2 screws. You can see with the body back in place that the bumper probably needs to be raised up a little. That'll be easy to fix in the model, and then I can reprint it and probably print a second one for the rear bumper as well. That's about it for this update. In the next video, I'll finish up mounting the bumpers and should be getting some paint on the body. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and let me know in the comments how you think this truck is coming along so far. Subscribe if you want to see more, and hit the bell to get notified when I upload new videos. Thanks for watching. Peace.